So this is one of those YouTube videos where I have nothing really to teach you. And so I have to apologize for that right off the bat. But please don't go away. Please don't turn this video off. I really need to hear from you. So what I want to know, those of you that are watching my channel, you've been following me for a while, or maybe you're new, welcome to the channel. I know that music licensing, the sync industry, is somewhat confusing, kind of vague, and it's really murky and sort of unknown in many ways. And one of the biggest reasons is because there's not a large number of places to go online to learn about it. There's a couple of channels here on YouTube, there's a couple of blogs, there's a couple of people who are talking about it and giving some instruction on it, but it's not as widespread as other topics in the music business in terms of how do you get into it, how do you succeed at it, how do you stay relevant. But more specifically, I've noticed that there's not a big place to go find production tutorials, mixing and mastering tutorials, anything that teaches you about the craft of making music specifically for the sync industry, specifically for music licensing. Tons of master classes about how to make an EDM track, tons of classes about how to make hip hop, how to mix a track, how to master a track, how to use a compressor. That stuff's all over the place. I have no interest in competing in that. But when it comes down to sync licensing, music licensing, where do you go? Maybe you guys know of a place to go. I have not found one, actually. I don't know of one place that has sort of an all-encompassing library of courses and videos that you could log on and learn, how do I make my track licensable? How do I make sure that my stems are appropriate for a music library or a music supervisor? How do I make sure that my mastering is on par with the professionals out there in the licensing business, specifically the licensing business? What should I be thinking about when I'm crafting my melodies and my chord progressions, and when I go from a chorus to a verse back to a chorus? Is there anything I should do in particular to be relevant in this industry? Those are the kind of tutorials that I'm talking about. Those are the kind of the issues that you really don't see in any other course and any other tutorial out there. We have plenty of those in the syndicate. That's pretty much all we do. But the idea came to me that maybe there's a place to create something like that, to actually create a sort of a centralized hub that has all of those kind of tutorials for all different genres, for all the popular genres that get licensed, at least the most popular ones, right? Maybe 5 or 6 of them out there that get licensed the most often. So what I want to know from you, A, does that sound cool? Does that sound interesting to you? And B, what would you want to learn? What are the things that you feel personally are your weak spots you're not really sure about, or you feel like in your own production, if you only had some more instruction about, X, Y, or Z, it would make a big difference for you to take that next leap into being more professional in this business and getting accepted by a music library, or if you're already in a library, maybe making more licensable music that gets more placements for you, okay? So please don't be shy. Leave a comment below. Let me know, what is it that you're looking for? I want to know genres. I want to know skills. I want to know, is it delivering stems, delivering alt mixes? Maybe you don't even know what alt mixes are. Is it delivering, creating a mastering session to make sure your tracks are loud and stereo spread and impactful and EQ'd properly, et cetera, et cetera. I need to know everything that you guys need to know, okay? In the words of Jerry Maguire, help me help you, right? So tell me everything that you want to learn. That's going to really be helpful for me. As I'm creating this, as I'm thinking about putting this whole thing together, the more input I can get from you guys, the more impactful and powerful I can make this place to really help those music producers that want to succeed in the music licensing business. And I know you guys are watching these videos because that's exactly what you want to do. And this can be one of those things that can help you absolutely take that next step forward. And the other really cool thing about production tutorials, and this is what I was telling the syndicate members just today, actually just the other day, I always release these videos a couple of days later. Sorry, spoiler alert, I'm never doing this on the day that I release them, usually. I said that, especially for me, I don't know about you guys, and I know other syndicate members agreed though, when I watch somebody else giving a production tutorial about how they made this really awesome EDM track or really crazy trap track or electro rock thing, it gets me inspired, right? It just gives me goosebumps. It just makes me want to jump right back into my DAW and get back to work. It is very motivational and inspirational to watch these tutorials. So it's not just educational, okay? That's one big part of it, absolutely. But the sort of missing ingredient, or the thing that's kind of hard to put your finger on, is the feeling of motivation, the energy that you get after watching somebody who's a master, who really knows what they're talking about, proficiently put this thing together. It totally inspires me, at least, always, to go do my stuff better, right? To get back into my studio and do my thing better than I've ever done before and push myself to go harder than I've ever gone before. Getting that energy and motivation is in rare supply these days. It's really hard to come by it. So if you can find a source of that, something that you can log into on a daily basis, weekly basis, and give yourself that energy, give yourself that sort of just pumped up juice to get your tracks done. That's what I also want this to be for you, okay? So do not be shy. Please leave a comment below. I want to hear from you.